Hello everyone to the weekend webinar by COE. And today we have Sai Charan with us, and he will be showcasing some Power BI reports which we can build on along with him. So yeah, over to you, Sai.
Sure. Hello, my name is Sai Charan, and I work as a business intelligence developer in a healthcare company here in US. And recently, I started a new project. Like this is one of my personal project. So without any delay, I will just go through like how I started the project and what is the methodology and thought process behind this process. Uh, so basically, the Power BI project is nothing but like we can't just directly get the data and like start with the visualizations and all. You can do that, but like the problem here is that the foundation of the like Power BI project and all, you should have very strong foundation. And I'll tell you exactly like what happened. So I have a friend like who is a mathematics teacher here in like one of the junior high school. So I meet him like every Saturday and all, but he was concerned about how to like do mathematical, like how his school is doing in math proficiency when compared to other schools. Like that is his main concern is, and he wanted to know the best performing schools in Indiana state, so that he can reach out to them and then like get some of the tips or initiatives that they're taking in those schools and implement some of the good practices in his own school. That is how the entire thing started. And I was like, if we have data, we can do that. And then later he told me that we have the data in like Indiana State Department. So that is it is a public data set, and everyone can download it and like do their own visualizations. So this is how it started, the motivation behind this project. And the second thing is like getting the data, finding the data. So I'm going to share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Sai.
Yep. So all I did was like getting into like internet and typing Indiana University. I can show you like sorry, Indiana State Education Department data. That's what I just did. And then I was doing some when I click on the data archive, we have all this data and all here itself. But however, this data is not not Power BI friendly. You have to make you have to do a lot of transformations and data modeling in order to make it like Power BI friendly. I will also show you that in a bit. But here is the data where I got the data from. And you need not to do the same thing. Like you can find something in India as well. Like we have some large amount of public data sets. All you have to have is like good motivation. What motivating you to do the project, because that's what if you have a problem statement like to start with, you will finish the project. You will know the goal of the project. So your analysis will be in such a way that to solve the problem. That is very important, because if not, you have no direction. Whatever you are doing in Power BI project, you won't be having any direction, and you will be lost and you will be uninterested after a few days and all. So that is the reason why having a strong motivation for any Power BI project is very important. So I want to stress that point a bit. And later, like I got those data, and most of them are in Excel files. But however, this is my one of the folder I was using. So I was analyzing data by grade wise and gender, ethnicity, as well as whether the schools have special education or resources or not. So there are two ways here. The thing here is, you you want this is the planning we need to do even before starting the Power BI, because if there is a new data coming in next year, you need to have very less overhead on you. Like in 2026, we are going to have one more report. All you have to do is download the data and put it in a folder and like click on refresh. That would be easy. You and you have to structure your folders in such a way that that is possible. If not, for every year you have to go and manually and do a lot of lot of work in order to update your data. So uh, how I overcome this issue is that I know that these are the three things I usually uh, want. These are the three folders I'm feeding into the Power BI. So all I did was like separating those on folders, and each and every folder I have data for 2019, 21, 22, 23, and 24. If there is a data for next year, all I have to do is just download the file and put it on this place and click on refresh button, and the data will be updated as required. So this is one of the planning, that this is one of the important thing, because the re in the process of reproducibility, usability, and like in future use, you have to keep in that mind that you have to save a lot of time. Now it's in future, like you can do a little bit of homework now itself, so that you can save a lot of time in future. So that is one of the thing. And if you see the data, like I will show you one of the example of one of the Excel file here. If you see the data, look at how they are, the uh, here we have this grade wise and like math proficiency, and this this one is not exactly Power BI friendly. We have to uh, transform the data in such a way that you can analyze this data in Power BI. That is one of the thing. But also there are like few other challenges as well. Like every year some of the school names gets changed. But how will you deal with that, and how will you make sure that those, like the same school name, even though school name is changed, like how you are able to categorize both schools as one school? Like that is some of the challenges we have. And I'm going to show you how I uh, encountered and solved those issues. So this is my dashboard, but however, first we need to get into the Power BI, Power Query. If you see here, these are my main data sets. And first thing, you have to uh, have good data model, so good arrangement of your data. For example, these are my main data sets that I'm using, and these are all other data sets I created, and I was separated it in different folders. If you do separate data in those folders, it will be easy for other people to understand what you are doing, as well as in future after 2 or 3 years, if you want to come back and understand what you did, making these folders will help you to understand what we have done, and what is the process we followed and all. So here we have the main data sets and main data sets, if you see. And I have done some of the what we call the uh, data processing. If you see here, these are my main data sets. So I didn't do a lot of transformation on these data sets, but the other data sets, what I'm using for grade 3, 4, 5, 6, all for all these data sets, I have to make a lot of steps, a lot of transformation in order to uh, look do it Power BI friendly. I will also show you what kind of things I have done as well. So for example, we have this data nodes. You can see that we have some rows, but how can you remove these rows? how do you know these are the rows that you need to remove? We can simply do like top rows. We can literally do the top rows thing, like remove top rows. But however, it won't solve the problem because this is the combination of many files, and other files also have this kind of uh, these lines in their files, and when they append those files, we'll be having like these three kind of lines for every file. And on this like Power Query, uh, on this table we have multiple instances. We have all this like these lines, repeated lines. Sorry for the confusion, but how so how I removed all those lines. I followed a simple logic that we know for this uh, particular column, the ideal length of letters or 4 or 7. That is the ideal length of the letters. So what I did was I created a new column uh, by length of characters. So for this length of characters, we'll be getting more than like 40, 50 kind of a way. So then I filtered that column by telling take only rows which are having less than 7 letters in the row. So which is nothing but corp ID and like 0015. These are the things which get filtered out and sorry, which which will be staying after filtering all this big strings. So this is uh, one of the way like to get rid of uh, like unnecessary data. And but you need to find some consistency of what you're like what do you want and all. And next one, I am doing like three different kind of analysis. That's the reason why I created like three folders where the grade wise, and the next one is gender wise analysis, and the next one is socio-economical economical way of like analysis, whether the student is having the paid meals or he is getting a discounted or free meals in the school. So that also the like just checking whether they might also affect like math proficiency in the schools, and whether how the special education was doing. So this is the background, like what is happening in the Power Query. And the other thing, the other important thing here is that to have that like dimensional data, dimensional, you always have to have a dimensional like table where you'll have a unique rows. This will make like a data modeling very like simpler, and having optimized like query performance as well as DAX performances as well. So what I did was I created a dimensional table, and I created a key in such a way that it is unique to that particular row. The way I created the key is by taking the year and the corporation name, like nothing but I just appended all the columns so that I will be having a unique row. Why I'm doing this? Because uh, each school is repeated like multiple times because we have multiple years of data. But in order to create a uh, like unique row, you need to like merge with the year, so that it will be like we will be creating a unique rows. So that is one thing. And after doing a lot of data preparation and all, this is the Power BI query, like Power BI report which I created. And I also shared this with the teacher, which whom I got motivation to do all this project, and he really loved it. As well as you can also see some of the good insights here as well. You can see the math proficiency from grade 3 to grade 8. It is decreasing. It's almost like getting half. For grade 3, it is 52%, and grade 8 is 30%. So as the grade is increasing, the math proficiency is decreasing. That is one of the thing we can find out. And we can also see that in 2019, like pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, the like math proficiency dropped drastically, and it was slowly recovering here. These are these are the things. And education type, you can all you can also see that special education, we have less math proficiency than like general education, and male and female by years and all. And this one is paid meals or free meals or reduced discounted meals. And here, if you see this particular matrix visual, you will be finding a lot of things here. Like, they're adding the trend line here. You can see how they are doing like in the last like 5 years, and where is the highest point. And this is indicating whether they are trending downwards or upwards. So that is one of the thing. And if someone wants to see what the grade wise as well, if this particular school wanted to see how they are doing grade wise, if they click on here, they will see how they were doing grade wise as well. And the this is one of my favorite feature of Power BI, which is visual tooltips. If I wanted to know in 2024, and for this particular school, how many people are there, percentages, we can say that good. But if there are less number of people, percentages is highly skewable. So we need to know like how many people are there as well. So for example, if I have around this particular uh, school, you can see that this particular school in 2022, we have these many people who are above proficiency, at proficiency, approaching proficiency, and below proficiency. And total number of students are tested, and what is their math proficiency as well. So this is also one of the cool feature of Power BI, and it is very easy to implement as well. So uh, and next one is that when people are using it, they wanted to get into for example, they were looking at child's elementary school. And here, if you observe, we have underlines on the values as well. It's nothing but when I click on this underline button, it will take me to the website of that school. So it is just a easier way to navigate from one data to another data. Like if they want to see more details, this was they can click on the link, and it will take to the school website. There is a lot of other data as well. And this is one of the thing, I also found it really interesting, and I mean very useful. It is like a good to have feature actually, to be precise, because when we need to know when the last Power BI last data was updated. So this is a dynamic greeting, you can see, and you can also see when it is updated as well. I will stop here for a second. Like, let me know if you have any questions. I can see that there are some questions coming. Oh, sure. So what is the difference between distinct and unique? Here it is. Yeah, it's I will tell you a very simple example for distinct and unique. Take the balls, colored balls actually. We have three red, like three red, two blue, and one green. Now here, how many distinct colors we have is nothing but three distinct colors. But how many unique are there? Only green is unique. Did you get what I mean? It's you can always take that as an example in order to quickly think about what is the difference between a unique and a distinct. If I want, I will. Okay, thank you. And next one. Oh, someone already answered it. Sorry, I didn't see that. So, as please let me know if you have any questions, or do you have any feedback, or no, on the projects. This is one of the project, and the second one, the other project which I'm doing, which I also done that, is H1B. Here, the people who are in US are struggling with H1B, trying to find H1B jobs. That is one of the major issue for students here in US. So what I did, I took that as an opportunity that I can help people to get those like H1B like companies. That is, we need to step back and say, this is the motivation of my project. We need to know the motivation. I'm going to share that with you as well. Here, H1B companies. So for every project, first thing we need to know is like where to get the data. That is a very important thing. And after getting the data, you have to arrange them and then later visualize it. So just a sec. I made this one is as simple as possible because I don't want people to get overwhelmed by the Power BI report. And if you see, these are the H1B employers. If you want to see it by healthcare, uh, like they can click on healthcare, and here you can see the table will be here. These are the employers and industries. And if they wanted to export the data, they can export the data. Here, one of the cool feature which I like good to have features, is that nothing but like if you have C instructions here, nothing but if I click on here, you'll be seeing the instructions for the page. Here, select all the required fields in the slicer and jump to step 2, which is here. And this is uh, this is one of the feature which makes users, it helps users end users in a big time, because many people don't know how to use Power BI, as well as you need to have additional information to explain some of the visualizations. So this is one of the bookmark feature in Power BI, where you can uh, make end user to see the instructions. And if you want to go back, you can go back. So this is the other like very small project. So that's it, Akriti. Like, let me know if you have any questions. I can, yeah. Hello,
Uh,
Abhishek.
yeah, hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, honestly, it's like a great thing that you shared your projects with us. It's really good projects that you shared with us. It gives an insights also how exactly month on month analysis or week by week analysis. Just a
Mhm.
two query for me. In the previous project that you used M value, right? It's, if I'm not wrong, it's a million values. The numbers are showcasing in millions, M values.
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
my
I can
query is regard. Yeah. So my
share my
query is
screen.
regard. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
you are saying the M value. This is the
Yes.
one you are. Okay.
Yes. Uh, so my query is basically for that M values, have you used any DAX query? If yes, how exactly? And the
Uh-huh.
second query is regarding the cool feature that I liked about is in the, I think next to the bottom, that India school, that chart, India school's math proficiency percentage
Yeah,
rate.
yeah,
I think you clicked somewhere and it's like directly open the link.
yeah, yeah.
So, and the third query is that how exactly a C instruction. These three queries basically.
Okay, okay, sure. The first one here, this is nothing but the proficiency here. If you see, uh, here, if you want to see it in thousands, all you have to do is like go here and like click on the like formatting pane, and you will have the data labels here. If you see here, data labels here, we will be having the values, which is nothing but what are the values we are seeing here. And here
Okay.
it's a displayed units as auto, but if you want to set it to thousands, now it's going to like show in thousands. And if you want to show it to like millions, it will show billions. Obviously, it shows zero because they are not billion records,
Yeah, got
but
it.
like thousands. And it's better to be auto, but unless it's necessary, like you want it to like show it in a different way. But this is how you can navigate from like millions, thousands, and billions if
Okay,
necessary. That
got
is
it.
your answer to your
First
first
query.
query.
Yeah.
And the second query here, if you have this in the data which I got, like, we already have that in the data. We have
Mhm.
a field called like website, like, website address as well. I'm going to show you
Mhm.
it as well. Just a sec. We don't need to go here. Just a sec. Schools. School dimensional table here.
Mhm.
Let me check which one did I use? So we so yeah, you can see that school homepage. We already have that links in that data
Okay.
itself.
Okay. Okay.
So all I did was like get here and like cell elements. I
Mhm.
was choosing the value. Here it is blank, but it was choosing the value and clicking on web URL. If you on this, you will be uh, you click on this fx function, and this is where you have to choose which column has those like a website data, and then click on OK.
Okay.
And that will show like that will give you like website link and
Okay.
underlines here. And for the ones which don't have underline, it's nothing but for that school we don't have any data, like, data of their websites. That's the reason why some of the schools values we don't have underline.
Okay. Okay. So whenever there is an underline, it will directly pop up to the particular website, and that
Yeah,
website
if you
link.
click on it.
Okay, and that
Yes.
website link is already there in the particular dataset itself.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so here, the major problem which I faced is in the whole, like, this matrix visual is not all this, but like, having this trend line as well as how to get these things. These are the major things, like, which I worked a lot. I mean, considerably took more time than other visuals.
Okay.
So that is one thing. And the next third question is your instructions, right?
Yeah,
Instructions one.
how that selection chart.
Yes, here in the instructions pane, we have a feature called bookmarks. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
it's a multiple like, step process, but basically I created bookmarks. This is a normal bookmark, what you're saying, and this one is instruction pop-out bookmark.
Okay.
And and I'll show you. So in normal bookmark, first thing first, like, whatever you are seeing here, right? Like all these things, I grouped them and call it as group two. Okay. If you
Mm-hmm.
see, this is a group two. And in normal, I hided that group two. So, and I created a bookmark. Now what I did was when I click and I set this instructions, this is a button. And in this button, I added an action which says that type of action is bookmark. And if which when I click on that, like, this a button, where should what bookmark to show is nothing but instruction pop out, which is this one. And here we have that back button. In the back button, I did like, I put a setting such a way that when I click on back button, it should go back to normal, like, normal bookmark. So that is how it is set. It is a multiple step process,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but once you know how to do it, like, it's very easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah. So thing is basically, as we know that there is a narrative function which is inbuilt in the Power BI. So
Mhm.
narrative is nothing like summarize function which is there in the
Summarize
Power BI.
function. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So my query is basically whenever we are like right click and summarize in the particular chart, it will give the insights from the data sets. like from the chat, right? So my query is, if
Yes.
I refresh the dashboard, will it works or not? Because I tried it, but after refreshing it, it's not working. The summarized chart, like is there
So,
any way that if we can refresh the data set and the summarization also been done, like as per, let's say for example, currently it's March data, I'm refreshing, and the data
mhm.
is MTD level. For example, today's date is 23 March. I
Okay.
did the summarize function and that data set gives an insights about 1st March till 23rd March. For example, I'm refreshing the dashboard tomorrow, which is 24th of March.
Mhm.
Is there any way that summarization automatically changes the contents in the summarize?
Uh, I'm expecting it's supposed to change, but however, don't relay your thing on summarization. Actually, if I'm not wrong, you're talking about this narrative
Yes, yes,
thing,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Uh, it's I what I usually do is like do a custom one. Like this is the one you're talking about, right?
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So what? Just a sec. I mean, this is a quite a good thing to be handy for sure. But
Okay.
however, what I usually do is that I want to have more control on my on my insights. For example, here there are a lot of things which I don't want, like some of the things. What I usually do is like I'll show you. Let's take a we'll do it a different this one because we have a lot of
Okay.
measures here.
Yeah.
Here, what I do is I will use a text measure actually. To be precise, I will be just a sec. Text one
Mm-hmm.
here. For example, total number of schools or
Mm-hmm.
total number of schools. Then I will click on here value
Mm-hmm.
and take, I already have a measure which is called total number of schools, like,
Mm-hmm.
and total, just give me a sec. Hmm. If you see that it is populated like 2,247, and if
Yes.
you save it, now it's going to show that. Like what I usually do is uh, customize by myself. I don't trust that narrative one. Not like trust. It is a really good one to have handy, but you won't be having a lot of control on it.
Mhm. Got it. Yeah.
So in I don't use as it is the narrative one. I will make some changes to it,
Mm-hmm.
the customizable changes, so that I will be like, because I used it for a lot of things, and sometimes it gives some unnecessary stuff as well. It gives like a sum of age. We don't want sum of age sometimes. Like, why do we
Yes.
need a sum of age of all
Yes.
the people? You might need an average one, but
Average
so
one.
exactly. So that is the reason why, I will be using I use like this kind of a like custom one.
Okay. Got it. Nice.
Yeah.
So in that previous project that you used trend functionality in the chat, what
In
exactly
the
that meant the chat, like in the
in the
previous
previous.
project that you
Oh,
just now took is,
okay.
uh, in the previous project, like
Okay. Just a sec. The previous project in the math proficiency one,
yes,
right?
yes, math efficiency. So there
Uh,
is a graph
just
which shows
this.
trend.
Uh, there is a graph which
What,
shows
uh,
just a sec. Yeah, which
yeah,
shows
yeah, trend, extreme downside. Yeah,
extreme
yeah,
downside.
this one only. Yeah, so this trend, what exactly this trend is meaning in this graph?
Okay, sure. Here, this trend is nothing but if you see that 89.866, 86.97, like these are the numbers are there, right?
Mhm.
These numbers I was putting in a trend line, actually. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, trend line. Okay.
So I will tell you why I'm doing it as well. So because numbers are good, like to have a look at, but to catch the attention of the user, it will be better if it is a trend line. For example, like by looking at those lines itself, we can literally notice, like without even looking at the numbers, we can literally notice that this one is going down. Now you are going to see what is happening here. Did you get what I mean?
Yes, yes. Got it.
So that is the reason why I added a trend line so that you can quickly identify the outliers, or just by like instance, instead of going through numbers. No one can go every line and see this is 100 and
Yes, yes.
82, 78. It was falling. Like, it's by looking at this trend line, he will easily understand it. That's why I use the trend line.
Yes, but so it gives an insights about year-wise, what is the numbers basically starting from, let's say, for example, we'll take the first example. So 8422 is the in 2019, and till
Yes.
2024 it's 81. So we'll come to know from 84 to 81 what is a trend line.
Yes, that's what, that is
Okay,
nothing but this trend line.
okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, so basically in this project that you made in the math efficiency, so basically you use only one data source or like multiple data sources?
Uh, so the place it came from is one website. If I think I already show you that Indiana Department of Education,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they have ton of data like in archive folders,
Mhm.
and all I did was like getting here, and like for example archive data here. If I click on here,
Okay.
it will, and what I was seeing is I learn actually. So here we have data for 2023, 22 and all, and these are the things which I downloaded basically.
Okay, so you downloaded the file, Excel file, and then connected, or you directly connected the website link to the Power BI?
No, no, I downloaded the Excel file and then connected to it.
Okay, okay. So
But
when you,
however, for this, we don't have a API connection, but there are some other data sets, like in the same Indiana website, where they provided API keys as well, so that we can connect directly.
okay, got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
And since this is a static data, it's not going to change in future, because like 2019 data is for 2019. It
Yes,
won't
yes,
be
yes.
changing. So that's why I didn't use that. But if it is a ever changing data, then I have to use an API. That would be a better
Yes,
instead of downloading stuff.
got it. And this in this project, you have used any cardinality functionality? If yes, can you please explain that? Cardinality is just like one to many, many to one. If you used it in this project.
Sure, sure. Obviously, that's the thing, right? Here, the whole point of creating this particular dimensional table is nothing but I want to put that in a star schema. This should be my main table for a dimensional table for schools. That is the reason why I created this particular table. And what I did was, I'll show it in the relationship view. You can see that this is the dimensional table, and this
Mhm.
looks like a star schema. Like I connected them to different education type, meal type, and all.
Okay.
So there are some complex, here this is a little bit simpler one, I mean simpler project actually, but in a real world scenarios, you might have to use many to many relationship, and you have to make them active as well. So as of now, in this project, we don't have those kind of scenarios, but we need to like aware of when to use one to one, when to use many to many, and when to use one directional, and when to use bidirectional filters.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And one more thing here, the one of the best practices that I found was, we have measures, right? We have a lot of measures. We need to arrange our measures. That is the reason why I created some folders in bench. For example, KPI. In KPI folder, we have these measures.
Mhm.
So this is a very simple, simple feature, but it will help to organize KPIs very efficiently.
Mhm. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek, for asking all those questions. It's, yeah,
Yeah.
That's right. Abhishek this side again, a different one though. So my question is in the data model which you just showed right now, you
sure.
have kept you said it's star schema. In the center, it's
Yeah.
a dimension table, and then you have those multiple things. So these are likely the fact tables on the sides which have the star asterisk, multiple records.
Yes.
Now, is this something like the normal convention is like having the fact table in the center, multiple fact tables, and then they branch out towards the dimensions? So this is different. And the other question is, since
Uh-huh.
you have the data based on years and all, so where is your calendar table in this? Or how do you filter the whole data or your report on the dates and things? How do you connect it across?
Yeah, sure. That is a really good question. Actually, I'll tell you why I have to do this in this kind of a way as well. So first of all, like the star schema kind of a stuff. Uh, I mean, it's a personal preference, like basically how they wanted to see it and all. Sometimes some of the people wanted to see in such a way that in star schema they want to put everything in down and like dimension table on the top. And but I it's for me it's more kind of a random unless I can see whether it is a star schema or not. Is that what you're asking? Mm,
Like no, like I get what you're saying. Like it makes sense now. The cardinality also makes sense. It's not many to many anywhere, so that is fine. I get your logic, underlying logic
yeah,
behind it. But what I need to understand, what I'm confused is like generally you always learn star schema as the fact tables being in the center, and they branch out to multiple dimension tables. In this case, you have one dimension table in the center, and then you have
yes,
multiple fact tables around it. So is this
yes,
also considered to be a star schema? Ideally, from the star schema convention, like the techniques of that, you have ample amount of dimension tables and a fewer amounts of fact tables. But in this
fact
case, you have
tables.
just one dimension and many fact tables.
Yeah, I mean, because I wanted to look my like the report as simple as possible. So I want to, that's the reason why I created one dimensional table. I could have created like, multiple dimension tables using this particular table, but I don't want to make it look like complex. I want to make it as easy as possible. The the downside of this is nothing but you have to add in the back end in order to put that everything in one table. You need to have a lot of since this is a small data set, the memory is not a problem. But if it is a very very large data sets, we have to like uh, like uh, divide one table into like multiple dimensional tables. But since this is a very small amount of data, so that is the reason why I didn't worry about it a lot and put that everything in like one table and like branch it out to different like dimensional tables, so that the source of truth, like for example, if I want any kind of categories, all I have to do is go to this particular table. That's it. If I have multiple tables for different dimensions, then it will be a little bit complex to understand, and to create DAX functions as well. You have to use a relationship and in order to have do calculation across multiple tables. Did you get what I mean now? Or
Yes, very nice. Like this is a totally different sort of perspective because in general, I would have always explained what a star schema is, having a few, very little fact tables in the center and having dimension tables across. And again, you bring up the point that the data is kind of lesser in this context, so it's
case,
fine to do what it is. And
yeah.
it makes sense. Like I can understand the logic is making sense. You have the perfect cardinality here as well. Yes. And the next question was about the calendar aspect. Like, how do you filter
Oh,
on that?
yeah. So the calendar aspect here, the first thing, these, if you see, I will tell you why I didn't create a calendar table in the first place. Actually, in a lot of my projects, I usually create a calendar table and all. Uh, but here we are having the data sets which are not connected. The only connect, the connection between this grade wise, gender wise, education type, meal type is just school name. That's it. For example, if we want to know in grade 5 how many male and female students are there, we can't find that because we don't have that data. Okay, so that is the reason why it is not very detailed report. Like if you want to, as I mentioned, like if you want to know in grade 5 how many male and female students are there, how many people are general and special education type, we are not going to know about it. So we have to put like do analysis different for uh, for each and every data set. Since it is disconnected, if I add a like what we call the what is this? I'm sorry.
Calendar team.
Calendar table. If I add a calendar table, what happens is that we are going to connect these calendar tables or like to one like particular table, and it also makes things like a little bit confused. I will show you in a simple example actually. So if I click on here, like for example, if I click on here, you can see all my columns are coming from this particular grade, like grade wise school final. I was
Right.
using the year date for this particular thing. And for this particular, educational type, I'm using this particular only one table and where it has its own year and date field.
Right.
So the thing here is it's not like we don't have to use calendar table. I prefer in this particular scenario, I prefer not to use it because I don't want to bring all the things together at like as of now,
Mhm. The
just a sec.
requirement is just this right now. Like you don't want
it's
to look
it's
into different deep dive into the data probably.
yeah, I mean it since these all four data sets are disconnected. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be be disconnected as well.
Mm-hmm.
While I was doing analysis, I don't want to combine all of them together because if I want in future, if I want to uh, do a separate analysis for educational type and all, I don't want that date table to come into the middle. I wanted to only use that this particular data set. I was putting that like separately so that I will be having a freedom in future to do what I wanted to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Right.
get what I mean?
So
Or else, if, actually speaking, here we can use date table. There is no problem in using a date table in this particular in this particular as of now. But I, as I mentioned, I choose not to use it because I want to put it like separately. And if I feel like it would be better like to have that like calendar table and connect it to one table, then I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of when to take this decision.
right. So, from what I understand, is it's just the use case in this case. So now I also understand that it is not a restriction of your data that you cannot use the calendar. If you want, you can also have a calendar, and but
Yes.
your report view and the type of analysis you can do would be different. At this point, what you're doing is, I understand from for each visualization, like grade-wise maths proficiency, you have created a table for it. Then there are the few tables. You're using these data sets to display the data in a historical manner, which only appends the new data to it. And you just
Mhm.
want to see the trends and what has happened or what is there in that existing data, rather than
Yes.
connect everything or filter down onto a
One.
granular level on each thing.
Yeah. I mean, I will tell you one more example. Here in KPIs, when you are doing this KPIs, you are every time you have to use previous year, the DAX functions. If you see, just a sec, the uh, previous years, for example, let's take
Mhm.
this DAX function. Here, I was using gender-wise year date. Gender-wise in gender-wise table, I'm using year date as my date function here. But if I put a calendar, if I create a calendar table and use that, it would work. But the problem here is that, like, if I feel like we uh, if we are going to add some more data to this particular report, uh,
Mhm.
I'm planning on getting some attendance data as well as other things like a lot of different data into this particular report. It will get little bit overwhelming to use one table and like find it mm, I don't know how to say it actually,
Uh,
but
Basically, if you would have date or interconnected date column, date table for each of the visuals, then everything would just change with respect to that one particular selection. Now,
yeah,
if you want to have differences, I think you can decide not to filter
not to,
on that visual with other things.
yeah.
But I
And
get what you're
one,
saying, it gets more complex, right?
yeah, actually, like there is one more reason as well. One more thing here is that doing this, like, doesn't, doesn't harm. Like, even if we add date table to it, nothing is going to change. Did you get what
Right.
I mean? This measure is not going to change. Even if I'm going to add date table, uh, this particular calculation won't have any effect on that.
Yeah,
But
like
however,
ideally, yes.
if I use a calendar table, and then if I want to come back to gender wise, I cannot do it because I have to go and change in every measure I used, that like calendar dates.
Alternatively, you can just disconnect the filter of date. If you connect with calendar table and you can disconnect the, impact of filtering on when one visual with any other, that would also perform
That
just
is,
like what you
yes,
have done right now, right?
yeah, edit interactions. Yeah, we can do that as
Right.
well.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I got it. This was really interesting to understand. So for the whole report, it seems like it's more about getting the insights on the past data. It's not very much into, cross-verifying from this data set to that data set, what is the correlation or something,
Yes,
but it is rather,
it's a snapshot
exclusive
view.
to.
So basically, it's like a snapshot view. For example, like actually, I created other uh, this particular what do we call it, pages, so that
Mhm.
while what I'm thinking is that if any school wanted their report, all they have to do is like select their school and export the data so that they will get a like I'll also show you that. Just a sec. Uh, for example, like Centralville Elementary School, like they will get a report in this kind of a way. So because they only want their school's data, basically, so this is nothing but report for that particular school. So this is one of the thing that I still need to add, like by click on, if they click on export data, I'm planning on creating a new button so that they will get the data, like for their own what we call school,
Cool, yeah. All
in
right, yeah.
PDF format so that they can print. And there is one more thing, like I'm planning on benchmarking as well. Benchmarking is nothing but how their school is doing against all other different schools.
Mhm.
So that is also one thing that I'm planning on, like including it. And if you see, also I'm doing some geographical analysis as well, like to find what are the concentric like centers. This is, I'm still
Mhm.
building it, but this one is more of like different. As of now, this page is just an overview page. As you can see, this is just an overview page. But if they want to dig deep, I'm going to create some more pages to it and see the correlations and what are the
Mhm.
concentrated centers where people should focus, like that kind of a.
Right, yeah. Yeah, very nice. Like I understand what you have done. Can I ask
Do you have
another
any?
question?
Yeah, sure. And let me know if you have any suggestions as well. I'm happy to hear it. Like, yeah,
No, as I am in the learning phase, I'm trying to just grasp everything out of it. If I get a view to this file later on, then maybe I can suggest some things. But at this
sure.
moment, I'm just trying to grasp what you have done.
Mhm.
My another question is that beside the trend, you have given symbols up and down. So is that comparing the value to its previous day's value or year's value, and that's why it's showing, or is
That's,
it compared to the top one?
yeah. This is one of the best questions actually. Things that I need to clarify. So if you first thing, I will tell you what is happening over here. If you see that in 2019 to 2000, there is a drastic decrease, right? And this is nothing but 2019 can be considered as an outlier, basically. So what I'm doing is that while I'm looking for the trend upwards and downwards, I'm not considering 2019. I'm only considering 2021, 22, 23, and 24. And what I'm doing is that I'm averaging dates. I'm averaging what math proficiency for 2023 and 24 and 21 and 22. And if this one is greater, then it is in a increasing trend, and if this one is greater, then it is a decreasing trend. That's how I calculated the up, down, and down values. And if you are seeing that zero, like if you are seeing this particular like zero type, it's nothing but we don't have enough data. For example, here we only, there is no data for 3 years, 4 years. We only have data for 2024. That's the reason why it is showing just one, that value here as well. So these this is a really good question, because this is one of the complex DAX we have to write in order to make that happen. Like I will show you the DAX function as well, mass proficiency trend
So is it
for
like the
spark plugs.
last year compared to the year before that?
It's more like comparing last 2 years with the previous 2 years. For example, right now in 2025, right? I'm
Mhm.
I'm taking average of 2023 and 24,
Mhm.
comparing it with 2021 and 22.
But why do you take average of 2 years when you can take the absolute value of each year?
It's because I want to in order to outliers, like for example, if there is a sudden decrease in 2025, or sudden increasing in 2025, that might skew values, like it might be an outlier. What if 2024 and 25, uh, I
Right.
was
You maybe you
averaging
can take.
to make it more like generalized. I'm
Mhm.
not only seeing just based on one data point. I want to see what is happening across those 2 years.
So it's a choice basically, right?
Basically, a choice. Either you can also do a moving average as well. If I have more data
Right.
points, I could have done moving average. That would be a perfect one,
Mhm.
actually.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
So,
makes sense.
yeah. And this is the DAX. And don't worry about large DAX. Actually, ChatGPT is really good at doing all of these things. All we have to know is need to know is like good understanding of DAX so that you can customize it. You need
Mhm.
to understand DAX. That's it. That would take you a lot. That you once you understand way to make changes, and with the tools we already have right now, ChatGPT and all of that, it will give nice suggestions, and all you have to do is customize and tweak it, because it is not always right. So
Yeah, this looks fair bit very complicated for that small symbols to occur over there. Okay, it's much longer.
yeah, that's what but
Uh,
you have to explain, you have to be a good at prompt engineering. That's it.
this has, oh, okay, like to get it out from ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yes, you have to
Okay.
explain it, and then yeah.
How would you say, like, I'm not very familiar with DAX. I've done it like a few years before, but
Mhm.
being able to recall what sort of functions or what sort of keywords are present in build or for extracting or something like that. Now, if I were to attend any interview and they
Uh-huh.
would ask me for DAX, now I just can't say like I can chat GPT it because what I
Yes,
need to
yes, yes,
demonstrate is I have a reference knowledge that I am aware
yes.
that this kind of function exists. So how extensive is that study of DAX and how extensively does one have to, get
Yeah,
into it?
yeah. I will tell you like very simple thing. When you are preparing for DAX, the major things what you have to have idea is about time intelligence functions. Basically, you need to know how to use date add, for KPIs. That is time
Mhm.
intelligence, DAX. That is one particular scenario. And the basic stuff is how to use calculate function and how to filter things. If you know this foundational basic things, you almost know how to do a lot of stuff, like most of the basic stuff, like uh, to be precise, in many people DAXs, 60 to 70% can be covered with calculate, how to use filter, and how to those time intelligence functions, previous years, what is happening year over year sales, quarter over quarter. those are the very it's like if you know 20%, can do 80% of the stuff. This is that 20%. Calculate and time intelligence functions. Did you
Okay.
get what I
Yeah.
mean?
So most of the things would be covered with these two things in DAX. So just being
Yes,
aware of it is good,
very, very
and
good.
being
And
able to form logics, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and you need to have an idea about what other DAX would do, but they won't, most probably they won't expect you to do know how you should write your code.
Right.
That's
Like because
that's what my experience anyway.
yeah, that is very insightful because like I don't have working experience of Power BI or Python per se. Now the thing is with Python as well, I can interpret it and I know what the things are to be used. I have a good reference knowledge of it, but I can't code it. If you ask me to write a simple for loop, I can't do it. I can explain you the logic, but I can't do it. So I was just wondering, how do you present yourself in such situations when in the interview, if they ask you to code it down, do you present like I'm not sure if you're able
So
to answer
basic,
this.
yeah. I mean, what I usually do is I would be prepared for basic, syntax of. First
Mhm.
thing is first thing all they in my opinion, what interviewer wants from you is how you are able to solve the problems. What is your thought process? That is the one they are going to press more on. And coming to the coding and all, if you perform even average and all, they won't really mind it. If you know how to solve the logic problem, and through logic, if your logic is right, they don't have any, they have very less problem with your coding skills. i, I mean, taking into account that right now we have a lot of tools. For
Mhm.
example, I was in an interview panel for one of the job description, sorry, job interview. We were interviewing a candidate, and he was mentioning that I know how to solve problems, but not coding intensive kind of a way. But
Mhm.
still, we selected the candidate because he,
Mhm.
first thing is he's honest, and the second thing is that we loved his way of solving the problem. Like
Right.
what he explains is absolutely right.
Okay.
And once you have those pieces, building it is not a big matter of big matter
Mm.
basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
got it.
I'm telling you, right, like an entire Power BI project, all you have to know is what is the problem you're solving. That should be that is the most important thing while you are starting a Power BI project. Because if that is not valid, no one is going to use your report. Basically, there is no point what you doing anything. But if you want to just for practicing sake, then you can use any data set. But if you want to grab attention, if you really want to solve problem, and if this is the motivation which was pushing me to do more work on this stuff. If I don't have that motivation, I'm going to, this is enough. I will stop it here. I'm going to start a new project. Then
Mm.
that's what happens if you don't have a motivation.
Right. So the motivation for this project was to generate insights on the individual data sets, right? Which can form some sort of,
Yeah, as
actionable
of
things
now,
or yeah.
yes. For example, in the government website that they that the data they have, they don't have it in a presentable way. They don't have
Mm.
in this kind of a trends. All they can see is numbers, but they don't have any trends. So I took this an opportunity, for example, I'm just this is just my way of thinking. But what if many schools want this kind of a reports, and now they are interested in it. For example, right now I'm in United States, but I'm not going to work. I cannot work for other organizations. But
Mhm.
however, if I'm in India and a freelancer, I'm going to reach out to some of the schools which are having seeing a serious downward trend and show them this report, and they might like it, and they were like, okay, let's do much more analysis on yearly basis. I will be having a job, freelancing job. If I even if I work with 2 to 3 schools, that would be nice. That would be, I'm going to get a lot of money for that as well. So I'm also thinking that kind of aspect as well as an
Mhm.
entrepreneurial aspect. How can I sell this dashboard?
Mm.
In future, if I come back to India, then I'm most likely that I'm going to reach out to these schools and then show them this analysis and try to find a part-time job over there while I'm staying in India, earn some money. So that is a different thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like ultimately learning to sell is like the end goal, I would say so. Uh, right.
Yes.
I have a couple of more questions, but I think Aishwarya has, I think I can ask after her.
Okay.
You can ask.
You sure? Uh,
Yes, yes.
all right. Uh, you mentioned about creating a primary key for a big table where
Yes.
it's something like surrogate key or
Yeah.
artificially created key. Can you talk about that? And maybe some things related to that is like you have certain data sets over here. I'm
Mhm.
sure you have consolidated things, appended multiple files. You have mentioned it. I might not
Yes.
have grasped it completely.
Yes. Yes.
So, can you just go on the right and highlight to me, or what are the tables, data sets you're using, and
Sure.
how
Sure.
did you
Sure.
merge them?
Sure. It's just a simple like I mean I'll show you in a different. We can go through one by one. Like source basically here. In the source is nothing but my source is
Mm.
nothing is a folder.
Folder, right?
So I was pointing it to a folder which has all these Excel files.
Mm.
And if you go by step, you can clearly see that what is happening here, like
So it's grade 3, but for different years. Okay.
different year. So it's grade from 3 to 8. It's
3
grade
to 8.
3 to
Yeah, that
8
category.
for
Yes.
different years.
Right.
Each one is telling about like 2019, 21, 22, 23, and 24,
Mm-hmm.
and expanding the table. Now it just expanded. It's a, I mean, yeah, if you want, I can literally show it here. Like that would be best. Do this folder.
So when you said expand the table, you basically appended everything by keeping the
Actually,
header as one.
that's the thing. I don't even have to do it. It will do it by itself. For example, like as I mentioned, just
Mm-hmm.
set folder here. I'll show you so that it will be easy. Here, for example, let's take gender this one and click OK. Click OK and just click on transform table. There is combine as well. Just a sec. I'm sorry. Just- there is a combine option as well. Actually, I didn't see that. But however, or else all you can do is like click on here, like this like two dots. If you see, sorry,
These
two downward
ones, yeah.
arrows,
Yeah.
and select which one. Like I wanted to see match gender. So in all the files, it's going to go to match gender sheets, and then if I click on OK, uh, just a sec. Where is this? See, if I click on OK, then it automatically like grabbed that sheet from all those what we call files and expanded
Mhm.
them. These are all the one like automatically happened. I didn't create any of these steps.
Okay, so that expanded step is where you choose the sheet which you want,
I
from
don't
all the files.
I mean, right here itself, from here, I clicked on
Yeah.
this particular thing, and
Hmm.
these are all the steps that it did by itself.
Okay, so in the first step only you expanded, is it? With the two arrows,
Yeah,
that
in the
thing?
first step itself, here
Okay.
itself.
Can you go to the
And
second step, applied step?
this one, I didn't do this. I mean, I like manually didn't do this. It happened by itself.
Okay, where is it expanding? Which step is it expanding in?
Here, after like expanded table column one. This is
Okay, so
where
those were
you can
automatic
see,
steps before. Hmm.
yeah, here, if you don't want to do in this kind of a way, all you have to do is like click on here and see which are the columns you want to expand and click on OK, then it will expand.
Right.
But it is doing for for myself, like it is doing it.
Right, now you also said that you removed the first three rows. Where is that step?
So yeah, I'm here. I'm going to show you that. That's the interesting part because I have to think a little bit in order to do that. Uh, I'm deleting this file. Let's see. So till here it is same, right? Like till here it is the same grade, like school data. And what I'm doing it here. I'm so I'm also going to show you like how I created the date column as well. So if you see, like this source name, we are having that like year, right? 2019, 2000, like for different like Excel files. Our Excel files are in such a way that we have that 2019, 2021, such kind of a way. So I was taking like extracting information which is between like this dash and this dash, the first dash and second dash.
Mm.
And we are getting 2019 here. And I'm
Okay.
removing unnecessary columns.
Mm.
This is reordering the columns in such a way that I can find it very easily. Remove other
Okay.
columns. I put like only grade 3 columns. Yeah, this is the where this is the place. Like you see, like this these rows, we don't need these rows. You know that, right?
Right.
Because it
Yes.
is just an, but we also have these rows for all the files, not just
Right.
this file.
Yes.
So these three rows are not happening only once, but it is also happening somewhere in between as well, right?
Mm.
So what I'm doing is that I'm taking the text length of this
Mm.
particular column. Okay.
Right.
Once I take the text length, I can see that there are 72, 67, 103, right? For
Mm.
this particular rows. But I know that these are only supposed to have like less than 7 rows.
Mm.
Sorry,
Right.
7 letters, because like this is a corp
Corp ID
ID.
is
And
7. Mm.
yeah, so what I did, I filtered in such a way that like filtered which is 7 or
7.
less, I'm going to
Mm.
take that. Even shouldn't have taken 7. 4 is enough, but just in case, I removed those corp IDs as well, but just in case.
But if you do less than 7, the corp ID won't come, right?
It won't come, and that's the reason why I didn't do it. Like so that here I
Right.
can just promote the headers and make it as column names. But if I do like filter it, I have to manually enter those like column names as well.
Mm. Right. Yeah. Can you
So
go to I got it now. Thank you for that.
yes,
Can you go to the last step in this?
yeah,
Okay, you have changed the year to year. All right. That's good. Okay, so now you have gotten the consistent year wise. I hope it orders by itself, like the years. It does not matter. It has like the year in it, so that is fine. There is no unique identifier in this, right?
yeah.
Everything can be
As of
reproduced.
now, yeah, not in this particular grade 3, but if you see that I have done for grade 8 and everything, and I appended all these rows and got this grade final school. Okay.
Mhm.
Here we have data for all grades. Do you agree that?
Yes.
Yes. Now this is the place where I created that key.
Key.
If you
Right.
see the
Hmm.
key,
Hmm.
how I created it. It's nothing but merging columns.
Right.
If I'm
Okay.
not wrong, this is the one. I just a sec. I merged those columns. So first thing here, source, you can see that it's nothing but all appending, and I removed unnecessary columns, which is something LOC. It's a, and I pivoted, unpivoted columns, cleaned text. I have to clean text because so that I can trim the values.
Mhm.
Sometimes those extra spaces might consider as a different name,
Value,
or
yeah.
yeah, different value. And I replaced like what I did, renamed columns, trimmed the text. But even after trimmed text, like the problem here is that there are some schools which genuinely changed their names.
Right. Oh.
So but we need to consider them as one name, right? But what is the common of all those? Even though they change their name, their like school ID is not going to change, right?
Mm.
So
Right.
I took that school ID as my, like, what we call the uh,
One of the part of your
yes.
composite
So
key.
to identify, like, yeah, I duplicated
Mhm.
some column, which is here copy. I don't know why I did that. But I
Mhm.
created those key in such a way that, where is this key? Here, inserted. Just a sec. Yeah, here this key is there, right?
Mhm.
Here, what happens is that, in 2019, if this school is uh, having this name across, North Adams Community Schools, okay? Uh, in all other different files as well, for that particular year, it's going to show the same name for that year, not for all
Mhm.
the years, but for that
Right.
year.
Right.
That is the reason why I appended with 2019, so that uh, I'm going to take what is its name for 2019.
Mhm.
Did you get what I mean?
Okay, so your next, there can be a composite key where the name of the school has changed, year has changed, but the school ID is same.
School ID is same. And what I did, like here, while I'm creating this particular, the matrix visual, if you see here, here we have school names. You might be asking, like, what school name is that, right? Like, uh, whether it is a like previous school name or current school name, right?
Right. Yeah. Like it
So
disconnects it, right? So because
it's
once you have a different unique key to identify the same school which has the same different names but same school ID, it'll disconnect them from, being a reference to the same thing.
yeah, that's the reason why I removed the duplicates of, remove the, like, just a sec. I will just do discard changes because
Duplicates by school ID.
yeah, and took school ID, like, I'm taking one name of it, or like first or last, actually,
First,
to be precise,
okay.
last name of it.
So basically, a school ID can have multiple names across the years. You're just
Yeah,
taking this, you're filtering the whole thing on the basis of school ID because that's the most common thing across
most,
everything. And then
yeah,
you're choosing the name which, out of the three or five or selections, only one,
yeah,
either of
yeah.
latest
I
one,
we
preferably.
can make it as a last school name. Like, we can
Right.
choose it as a last school name. You don't even have to choose it as a first school name. So that is a different thing.
Okay, this would require some thinking. Like I get what your logic is. It's very, yeah, you have thought it through. Definitely, I've worked on this. I can say that.
Yeah,
Um,
this is the thing, right? Like, while you are creating a project, these are the things, which are actually the problem solving. It's not about the visualizations, but
mhm.
most of the time we are going to spend time on how to solve these inequalities, or, how to make data consistent. That's where the real, struggle is. Once you
Yeah.
have a clean data, building visualizations is the second part. Like, it's
Hmm.
not like it's not used, it's not important, but it's also hard to visualize
Hmm.
stuff and stuff. But you need to have a strong foundation of what data you are working with.
Right. Yeah, definitely I agree. Understanding the, being able to come up with the logics and making sense of things before coming to just visualization because it's Power
Yes.
BI. It's utmost important. Now, another thing what I had asked is that, okay, so now what you had done is created a composite primary key. Can you
Mhm.
not, like your final sheet, can you not remove all the duplicates, excluding the name of the school, which can change? So if you do that, and then you can have a continuous running index number or something in the whole thing, does that also make it, okay, it will not be as informative because it does not have the
Yeah,
school
school name.
name or
Yeah.
school code or that. Okay, so is this like an ideal industrial practice that you would want to make a primary composite primary key with the names of the columns, which indicates its,
uh,
uniqueness
Ye-
visually?
I mean, I don't know about industrial practice, but I would prefer in that kind of a, so in this kind of a way, so that
Mhm.
I want the consistency. The I want
Mhm.
to have consistent data,
Right.
and for the
Yeah.
people who are seeing it, they should if they have a looking at my file and all, they should be easily to understand why they might not they might think about why I have done that, but they will at least understand why what this key is doing. Like it is easy to
Yes.
understand. So
Yeah, makes sense. Like, what I can think of is unless you're connecting this table with some other table and trying to, work with both of the different tables, then you would want a common connector. But at this point, as a composite primary key, it acts as a informative key to just understand what is happening in that record.
yes.
Uh, Very nice. And just
And
last
also
thing.
one more thing, it also, if you want, what is it, for example, some people might also want to know what is the name, like what is a snapshot for that year 2019. So if that is the case, then composite key, having composite key the way it is right now is very useful, because snapshot, you need to show what is the data for that particular year, right?
Right.
So
Hmm.
you need to have that old data as well, like old name as well. So creating that composite key, if we want to know what this school is called like 5 years ago, we can still get that name.
Right. Can you show that now? Can you double click a
Sure.
data point in your thing and it can
I
take us
will,
to the
yeah,
data
I will
behind it?
literally, just a sec. Mhm. Let's see. Let's take a school name.
Do you use Power BI in your role?
Yeah, I do use.
If you don't mind, like, can you talk about your role a bit? Like, what is your role about? Is it exactly all about Power
It's
BI or is it?
not all about Power BI. I've done just a sec.
Yeah.
I need some example of any school which doesn't match. But if I click on 2019 here, now whatever you are saying,
Mm.
school names are school names for that particular year.
Mm. Right.
If I click on 2023, now you are going to see school names, if there is a
Right.
change in school name, you are going to see, like, for that year, what is the school name.
Mm.
This is
Right.
what I meant by snapshot.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
And if you go to the report, like the main overview report,
Mhm.
if you double click on that sheet, what we were working on, not at that sheet, in a visual, and it can take us back to that table it is originating from, where we can see the composite primary key. Okay. Like, which is that table over here?
I didn't
Did you
get
get
you.
me?
No, no,
Okay.
no, no.
So we are looking at a particular table, right? What was that table? In the model view, or was it
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
data
It's
view? Table
this
view.
table view,
This table is called what is this table called?
a dimensional table, basically.
So school's
Schools
dimension table.
dimensional
Does this
table.
have a composite primary key in it?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do is you must have created, in isolated visuals for this table. So in that, when you click on any particular data point, it can filter out the underlying data, right? It can get me the underlying data, which we can see.
Okay.
So I can actually see the composite primary key as well to get an idea as to, okay, what is this
Just
data
a
originates from
sec.
where.
I think this is the only visual which actually has that thing.
So
And let's
schools,
see if I go here, show as a table.
just click on any of the value, I think so. Just double click any of the
Yeah,
value. I
yeah.
think that's how it takes it, right?
Okay.
No, on the value, not the school, because
No,
the school would.
it's you're saying this particular
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Can you double click the value?
If I double click it, like it takes me
Okay.
to the
Can we click
website
on
of
a
that.
value which does not have a hyperlink?
Okay. Here we go.
Is it not Power BI? Is it Tableau that we double click and it takes us to the underlying data?
I think so. But this here, if you want to see the underlying data, all you can do, there is another way of doing it. Just a sec. Show as a table. if I'm not wrong. And just a sec.
So we have to do a
Supposed to
manual filter
have,
on.
yeah, just a sec. If I export data, it will show, oh, let's see, it will export this
That would
data
take the
actually.
whole
Yeah,
whatever is visible,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But there for some visuals, it also shows what is how the data is built as well. But this for
Can you
this
try
matrix
to
vision,
right click and see for any data point where you can export it?
let's see, shows a table,
Show as table, maybe. Yeah.
table, unphrased
Just for
rows.
seeing.
It's
No. Okay. Okay. Maybe it doesn't W I'm thinking about, because I remember an instance where you just double click the value and it takes you to the filter of that thing on the background, like whatever data it came from.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it can be average. It can take you back to those many rows of that particular thing. It is taking the average of.
yeah, yeah. Not here,
Anyhow, yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of my doubts are cleared. As a final thing, like when you asked any suggestions, you can maybe consider doing some sort of statistical significance studies on these numbers. As you already pointed out, some schools can have a really low number of students, and it might not be significant to look at those performances of those because it can be skewed.
yeah.
So maybe you can do more
So
statistical on it.
stat. The thing here is the problem here is that we only have like 5 data points here, 2019, 21. If we have individual, sorry, individual student scores as well, then doing like, statistical analysis for it would be great. But like, here we are only dealing with 5 like data points. Did you get what I mean? Because the data what we have is like for 2019 these are the number of people, 2021 these are the people. That's what the data underlying data has. We don't have
Right. It does
uh,
not have a lot of
like
independent things
granular
that can
data.
be.
To be precise,
Yeah.
it is not as granular as it just the granularity of this data is like the year wise.
Hmm. Right. So basically, you can't really go establish a
Go
lot of
statistically.
correlations.
Yeah, yeah. All I
Okay.
can
The
show is
dependent.
like the trend and like how is it going. If you,
Hmm.
that's the thing, right? That see, if I come back to India and if I'm going to work with like so schools, I'm going to ask the individuals like students data. That's when like
Hmm.
the real magic happens. Like for
Right. Yeah.
example, he's in the third like 3/4 of his school year. By that time I will be knowing how he's going to perform, like how many tests he took. This all the proficiency right now, it's more like finals, what
Hmm.
how
Hmm,
he's
hmm.
doing at the final like annual exams. But if we know all those his test scores, then we can find where he lacks in, and then uh, we have that
Hmm.
customized student plan like for each and every
Yes.
student. So
Understandable. I can highly relate to this because during my master's, one of my friend, he worked with a NGO government,
mhm,
digital school, which
mhm,
works across all the states in India. On
mhm.
the medium of the operation is of on WhatsApp. So they had a lot of data. They pulled a lot of data from WhatsApp, how they respond, and on the back end, they had a lot of granularity of the data as to
Yes,
what
yes.
which class they are, how many, what is the response
And
rate.
whether, yeah, and whether they're like men or women, like boy or girl, that kind of data.
Yes,
Here
yes.
we have that, but we don't have that grade wise, or like
Hmm.
that disconnect is there. That's the like big part, like here, like which big caveat, like
Yes, really nice. They do a lot of A/B testing because they have to see what works.
yes,
Since it's
yes,
NGO and it
exactly,
is not
exactly.
free, so you have to, try to do good in the sense, in spite of not expecting
Yeah,
any more amount of money
re-
or sort. So
yes,
really nice,
yes.
amazing. Yeah, thank you for clearing a lot of doubts and concepts in this thing, Sai.
Yep.
It was a
Thank you
pleasure
very much for
learning.
asking. I mean, this is literally for me, it's more like an experience of explaining my project. And if I appear in an interview, it's more like an interview for me right now. I loved it.
Don't tell me you're in the same competition pool as I am in.
Actually speaking, like I'm also looking for jobs, but like, this is one, but also like I don't want to rely on like, as of now, the my mindset is such a way that uh, try to start something by myself, like, by own. So that's the reason why I was doing all these projects and see where it takes me. Like, hello, Aishwarya. Yeah,
Definitely.
you can go ahead, like ask your question. I'm sorry for making you wait, but
No, no, not a problem, sir. Sir, actually, I had this doubt when you hovered on any value in this table, that
Mhm.
Indiana math proficiency table.
Yep.
So, yes. So, yes, this how did this bar graph appear?
Oh,
Because
yeah. I will. This is a very like, I will show you like right here. Very easy. Like when I saw it for the first time, I was thought, oh my God, it might be very difficult, but it's not at all. All I did was like, create a new page where I created this visual. Okay. This is just a visual, like how you usually create like Power BI visuals. And all we have to do is go here and click, and in page, sorry, in page information, allow use as a tooltip. You need to on this. If you on that thing, then come back here and like click on this particular thing, like particular visual. Just a sec. Yep. Go here, go to general, click on tooltips, select the page which you use as a tooltip, and that's it.
oh, okay, that's nice. This is something really new to me.
Yeah,
Actually, yes. One more question related to Abhishek's question. So, I have seen scenarios where we already have the date column, but why do we need to create the calendar, like calendar date something?
sure,
That,
sure. Uh, so why I usually create like calendar table in my projects is that to when the data is very much linked, like how can I say, historical data and multiple like, multiple data sets to be precise. Uh, what I meant by multiple data sets is nothing but different types of data. For example, here we are seeing like educational type, socioeconomic need, like all these different types of fact tables, right? So we might have like a lot of historical data of different types. And if you want to know their trends and all, creating one particular table and connecting that table to all different tables for like calendar table, basically like dates and all, it would make it very easier to have consistency while you are using time intelligence functions, and as well as interactivity. When the data is connected, then you have to use the slicer. You cannot create each slicer for each and every data set. That's the reason why if you have a table, like one table, uh, then we can only create one slicer and use it, like use and we can, if we use that, then we can make changes, like the visualization get also changed in all different uh, data sets as well, not just for one particular data set. I will, okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused, but it's not, I'm a little bit confused, but I will tell you why. I'll show you that that would be better. For example, for example, here I told you, right, my data set is very disconnected. So there is grade wise final school here, and we have like years here, right? Uh, we also have gender wise, and we have, let's take years as well here. Like, let's make this as a slicer. Okay. If I click on 2019 here, this one is not going to change because they both are not connected. Did you get
yes,
what I mean, Aishwarya? But
yes, yes.
if we have a table which connects these two data sets, and have that like year column. Sorry, if we like filter that by 2019, it's going to filter in both tables. That is the reason why we usually use a calendar, like calendar table.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
understood.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks.
yeah. Let me know if you have different thoughts. Uh, like I don't know, I didn't see your name actually. Is that Abhishek?
What's that?
I mean, if you, let me know if you have different thoughts or
Oh,
on the
I'm
calendar.
sorry, I was not listening. So, is it
Okay,
about the right now,
calendar
or you
table.
want it later on?
No, I'm just explained like why we need to use the calendar table. So that's it.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I just saw what you did. You showed her two tables and they were not
Yes,
connected with the
yes,
calendar. So it
yes.
makes sense. One really the great thing what I learned out of this was having a dimension table in the center and fact tables around it and still calling it star schema because it makes sense is just how you can sell the logic. You can just sell it on the logic. So it need not be that, oh, okay, I just feel so stupid thinking that, but I think that's how you learn, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to generalize it like so that people can. I don't want people get overwhelmed because a lot of end users they don't know a lot of technical terms. If they say star schema, they're like, okay, okay, okay. But if we try to explain like a lot of different stuff, then they will be like, oh,
Yeah,
they're not
definitely.
ready to listen.
Yeah, if you go on with explaining how you did it, and they can, but yeah, you can't explain it to technical people. Technical
Yeah,
people just say it like it's star schema and they'll just buy it off you. Uh,
yeah.
that very nice. So
That's
are you done, or we can just have this casual
I mean,
conversation?
I'm done, but like let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to. And also, I will also post my LinkedIn as well, so that you can connect me through LinkedIn, anyone. And then if you have any questions, right now I'm doing a like kind of tracking some kind of using some strategy to become expert in Power
Yeah.
BI. So I'm happy if anyone wants to join there as well.
Yeah,
Are
hello,
you?
sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, Abhishek. This I know it's already 10 p.m. IST, but
Yep.
yeah, so it's just a few queries that comes to my mind. It's basically that you just now showcased the million R before that you converted to the values to the millions, right?
Yes.
My understanding is basically currently I have a data set with me. What I understood from that is basically the data set that which you have is static values. What does it mean? Is basically you have a values that you converted to millions. But the data set that which I have, the client set it to me is basically
Hmm.
in there are three columns. Basically, column A is currency code, column B is amount in the specific currency codes, and column C that we require the values in the values in GBP. GBP is nothing but the currency code of UK.
Okay.
So currency code type in which that GBP, US and Canadian dollars and everything and amount value. So is there
Mhm.
anything that we need to use any tax query? If yes, second query is
I
regarding
mean,
are we
to do what? Like for, I didn't get that
the
first question.
standardized? So yeah, so query is basically client required that particular amount, standardized amount in GBP in Power BI.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
yeah, so they have a like I already cleared with the now that you showcased to me is like we need to convert it to millions that I cleared with it. But client's requirement is column A has a
GPP.
currency code, column B
Hmm.
is amount, and client requires that all the amounts should be converted in GBP.
Okay.
No matter
Okay.
what, like it's in GBP, Canadian, AUD, or like INR. Client
Okay.
want that is in column C is in specific GBP value because their
Okay.
headquarters is there.
Yeah.
So, is there any way, any tax that we can use for the particular, and then we can convert it to millions? So, second step, I'm cleared with it. I
S-
can do it in
Yeah. Yeah.
millions.
Yeah. Uh,
So,
Thank you for asking that question. On top of my head, uh, I cannot say it. But obviously there is a way to do it. But the first thing is that I might not use uh, totally DAX in it because like the currency exchange thing is going to change day by day, right?
yes, month on
Like
month, yeah.
yeah, month by month or whatever. Like you need to have a data source like which usually like what uh, the like you need to import or have a direct query to a API for external source,
Mhm.
which calculates like how
The
much you
exchange rate
have to
of the
multiply.
yeah.
Yeah, you need to
So client
set
send me
that.
the Excel to Excel file basically. So client send me two Excel files. First one is the amounts in all the data set, like as I said, like column A and column B. And the client sent me second file in which the exchange rate file is there, in which month on month, starting from 2019 till what is current month is March 25. So month on
Okay.
month, year wise, the current exchange rate. For example, AUD
Oh, it's
last year.
there. Yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
If that is there, then you can literally what I if that is there, what I usually do is that uh, I create a column like
Okay.
to the fact table,
Mhm.
and by joining the table for that
Mhm.
month, what is the currency rate, and then I multiply the money with that currency rate and create a another column which says the
Mhm.
actual value. Did you get what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, so
That
actual
is
value is
much more
nothing but
easier.
is a GBP value. Actual value is nothing but a GBP value that we require.
GPP value, exactly. Right now, for example, you have like for 2019 June month, you have
Mhm.
Canadian dollars. Okay,
Yes.
this is your row. What I do is I will join the other table, like the
Mhm.
currency table, and
Mhm.
get that for June 2019. What is the exchange rate? Okay,
Mhm.
and then what I do, I will just multiply these two columns. I create a new column,
Okay.
and then you will be getting actual value for that June 2029. Sorry, 2019.
Okay. So currently I'm focusing on March 25 and already have the data. So you said basically the answer is I need to
So
map
basically,
the.
yeah, join the tables by with the key as month and year,
Mhm.
and then multiply those two columns, the Canadian dollars and the exchange rate, and then get the actual numbers.
So just a thing. So join the table is nothing but you are saying I need to join the Excels two like basically one to many
I mean, you can
relationship,
do
right?
it in Power BI, or
Yeah, in
else you
Power BI
can do a
itself. Yeah.
VLOOKUP as well.
Okay. Lookup value function, DAX function, lookup value function.
Yeah, you don't even you have to use DAX at all in this case. In the import mode, in the Power Query itself, you can
Mhm.
merge queries, right? Do the merge
Uh,
query.
yeah. Append and merge. Yeah. So
Yeah,
merge query. Yeah.
merge query by the key as month year, and then
Mhm.
get that particular exchange column and multiply that column with Canadian dollars.
Okay, okay, and I'll do that. And okay, okay. And the second thing is basically regarding the incremental refresh. If you can, like, let's like with this, we
Uh,
can perform the incremental refresh concept.
yes.
Like currently, I'm performing the thing is basically on day-to-day basis. I'm the data set measure. So data set that I received, I download that Excel file. First thing, or second thing that I'm in my mind is I need that the data set is in Teams file, Teams
Okay.
Excel.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I connected Teams Excel file to the Power BI,
Hmm.
and team is working on Teams Excel file. And whenever any changing is being done, I just refresh that in Power BI.
Okay.
But the client want that should be done in the specific time. For example, 9 a.m. every morning or 10 a.m. in the
Yes.
morning.
Hmm.
But this scenario can be we can achieve this through concept. If I'm not wrong, it's like through incremental refresh. So because
You don't even have to do that. Like, what is the data? Like, how much data is there?
the data currently the team is using, it's like almost you can say 5,000 rows are there. Currently, it's
Uh,
5,000 rows.
so, which is nothing but, I mean, not even like how much
It's not
KV
a
or
big data.
MB it is.
Yeah, it's not it's not a like big data also. It's like you can say it's
It's
like
very small
our
data, right? You don't even have
yeah,
to
20
do.
MB, 20 MB. Yeah.
You don't even have to do incremental refresh for this. All you can do is like schedule refresh. You can schedule your refresh in Power BI
Okay.
service, like to like to specific time every day at 9 a.m. You like,
Okay.
and then and leave it like that. It will schedule. It will run the like it will refresh your dashboard every day at 9
Okay.
a.m. So
Okay. Okay, so the answer of this question is we can achieve this scenario through scheduled refresh, right?
Schedule refresh. That is
Yeah.
very simple. You don't go
Yes,
through like
yes.
incremental refresh. Incremental refresh is
Okay.
a very big one. Not, I won't say like
Okay.
big one, but a little bit complex. And you need to have required fields, and you need to have that query folding. It's a different stuff. But for this
Okay.
scenario, I don't recommend like incremental refresh.
Sir, the only thing is challenging thing na, is basically the team is like working on this Excel file, and that team is working on the Excel file, and Excel file is connected to the Teams. But sometimes,
Mhm.
let's say for example, yesterday's scenario only
You
there.
have a new Excel file. What you were going to do? That's all
No,
right.
no, the thing is like there is a column called as action taken, and
Okay.
their column, the spelling of QUE query is they putting right incorrectly. So because of which the data is showing incorrectly in Power BI. So that I
Okay.
have to do it manually. So
Okay. There is a simple fix for this kind of scenario as well. So while you are creating Power BI, like creating the report,
mhm.
uh, remove those column names and give column names by yourself for all those columns in Power BI.
uh,
So irrespective of whatever they do, one you are going to remove that your query is going to perform removing all those column headers, and you are going to give the name. So that would solve that problem. Did you get what I mean?
so the thing is basically it's not column header name. It's like the data which is there in the column itself. So column header
Call
name is fixed only. Column header name is action taken only. But
Okay, okay.
the
But the
so
values.
yes, yes, yes. The values it's query, PO
So
amendment, or PQ
So
to
if
PO
that is the
conversion.
case, if that is the case, there there are multiple ways you can solve this problem. First thing is that if it is solved in database level, that would be great. Like how how they are populating this Excel, Abhishek.
So this Excel is being there itself in team only. They are just in the early morning. They are
Writing
particular
writing
performing.
stuff.
Yes, it's writing manually writing. They are manually writing. If this
So is
case
it
is
a
performed in this
okay,
query.
okay? Is it a categorical column? Like it only have like particular categories?
Yeah, it's a category basically. If it's this
So if
case
the
is moved to the
okay,
different department, then AP
okay.
department,
Okay,
loan
if that
department.
is the case, in the Excel file, they can they can write a rule for that particular column that it can
Okay.
select only this particular
Ah, got it, got it. Okay. Specific
yeah,
rule,
that
conditional
would be easy.
formatting.
Yes, exactly. That would be easy. See,
Okay.
whenever there is a problem with data, first we need to check whether we can solve this problem on a database
Mhm.
level.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
If
Got it.
not, then we need to go up.
Got it. Yeah, sure, sure, definitely. Yeah. And the thank you so much. And the third thing is basically as companies are asking, and this is I think so kind of important question. So is for the entry jobs, like job point of view. So is
Mhm.
PL 300 certification is required as companies also asking for like in the criteria itself that it's PL 300 certification required and 70% marks is required for the clarification of this exam. So how exactly you can suggest like or is it like it's like okay you can go through YouTube videos or chat GPT kind of things. So what exactly you can suggest for this?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I'm the one of the person who did like 6 Microsoft certifications within like 3 or 4 months. Actually, one of them is Microsoft Power BI as well. If you see my LinkedIn profile, you will find that. Uh, I also have a detailed roadmap of how to do it as well. But never mind. Irrespective of that, like these days recruiters are having for example, just you yourself put your shoes and a recruiter shoes. You for each and every job application they are getting 2000 3000 like resumes, right?
Yeah, actually yes.
So they cannot go through all 2000 3000 resumes. They need to have some filter on it. They need to make some filter on it, right?
Mhm.
So this certification is nothing but a filter. They are using it as a filter basically.
Okay.
So if you have a certification, then you will pass through that filter. There is a high chance that you will get an interview. If you don't have a certification, they will consider you as you won't come through that filter.
Okay. Okay. So you are
So
suggesting it's better to get a certification of PL 300 or similar like that.
yeah, I mean it's I don't know, like not all recruiters are like that, but it's always to have like certification is better for many reasons. Like you will see
Okay.
a different type of salary range if you provide your
Mhm. Yeah, I
certifications
agree.
as well. So
I agree. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
believe me, Abhishek, when I was doing that PL 300 certification, I got to know a lot about Power BI features. You will
Okay.
understand really well. So of what we already have and not using. There are so many cool features we already have, but we are not using it. So
Mhm.
so I highly recommend you to go through the material, and everything is free. Believe me, you don't even have to pay anything. I didn't even pay anything for all my certifications actually. Like not I mean I paid exam fees, but not for any other resources. We have all the resources, available resources in Microsoft, as well as if you have LinkedIn Premium, you have a lot of courses as well. You can
Okay.
message me on LinkedIn. I can or else you can see my some of my previous posts where I explained how I did the certifications as well.
Sure. Sure. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Sure.
Yep.
And just a thing, basically, as companies are asking
Hmm.
that like Excel, Power BI is must, Power BI is also must, but there
Hmm.
are companies who are asking a prerequisite of SQL. So in
Yes,
this picture, because they because what I had come to across that SQL is most important. That I
important,
always
most,
yeah yeah
the
yeah
most
yeah
important to be
the most
precise.
important.
I mean, I would say that you can survive without Power BI, but without SQL you can't, because you if just imagine everybody's data is in databases. Their data
Yeah.
is not in Excel files, right?
Yes, yes, actually, yes.
So that is very simple, way to put it.
Uh,
SQL
So
is
how
must.
yeah, yeah, SQL is yeah. The more companies are asking for like if a prerequisite of SQL and Power BI, then and also if it's better that if you have a certification such as Microsoft certification of PA
Yes, yes,
300,
yes.
then like because nowadays like resumes are getting more than 1,000, 1,500 for a specific data
Role.
analyst position, Power BI developer positions, and this. So
Yes.
yes, so yeah. And how get you prepared for how much time it will take for you to prepare for P100, PL 300 certification?
I
Like,
personally prepared it for 1 week, and that too like
oh,
1 or 2 hours a day. But
oh,
intense, you have to be like really intense.
okay. Sure. Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thanks, thanks. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. That's all, Akriti. Let me know.
Thank you, Sai, for the interactive session, and
Yep.
it's been so informative.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you very much for listening to me for 2 hours.
yeah, it was our pleasure. Thank you. Hope to have more sessions like this.
Sure. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone, for joining in.